Brought to you by
youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the Special Interest Group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to our second edition of UBC News Tonight on this 10th day of July 2025. I'm Lorraine Masiika Kazimoto. Now, before we get into tonight's news bulletin, let's first take a look at the top stories tonight.
Brought to you by
Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Uganda reopens Bunagana and Mupaka border points with DRC after 3 years. Museveni visits Kasokoso, pledges bigger funding for wealth creation programs. Legislators cite understaffing in Gulu referral hospitals' dire state. And KCCA gates €250 million to upgrade 118 roads.
Brought to you by
Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Good evening once again. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has pledged to resolve the long-standing Kasokoso land conflict within 1.5 months after reviewing the matter. The 600 acres of land have been under dispute between National Housing and the current occupants since 2013. Museveni stated that he had not been aware of the issue, which is why it had remained unresolved. Museveni was in Kasokoso, the largest slum in Kampala, to monitor the performance of the parish development model and ghetto structure circles. We have more.
On Thursday, President Museveni visited Kasokoso to assess the progress of various wealth creation initiatives, including the Parish Development Model, PDM, Ghetto Youth Fund, and Emyoga programs. Under the Ghetto Youth Circle, he visited 2 beneficiaries, a motor garage and a car washing bay. While addressing Kasokoso residents, he pledged to resolve their ongoing land conflict with National Housing and private individuals who have attempted to evict them since 2013.
Within 1.5 months, I will resolve the issue of the land.
President abagambye nti mu mwezi gumu ajja kuba ensonga mwezi gumu n'ekitundu ajja kuba ensonga y'ettaka agimaliriza mu kuba engalo ez'amaanyi.
The 600-acre land dispute ongoing since 2023 involves the National Housing and the local occupants. Museveni said he was previously unaware of the issue and vowed to settle it within 1.5 months.
And even the question of the land, they should have brought it to us. I have never heard of this land.
Residents voiced concerns over not benefiting from wealth creation programs. The president promised to inject additional funds into the circles, acknowledging the challenge of Kampala's high population.
Circles, I am ready to add another 100 million per.
President kwezo sente eza sako mwetegefu ogenda ng'ayongeramu miliyoni endala 100 mu nsawo ya ghetto ku
per division.
Ku buli division mwe muva.
Museveni also urged residents to support NRM party candidates, saying that electing opposition leaders hinders effective coordination and lobbying for community needs.
The NRM people like Mzee Mamerito there,
mulonde abantu ba NRM nga Mamerito wano.
When he was in charge of Kira, we were doing a lot of work.
Meya ng'ow'ekira abadde akola emirimu emingi.
The roads, the what?
Enguudo, amazzi.
So, please, don't waste your time.
During his visit to Wanyamazimi, who started his auto garage business in 2017 and later received support from the ghetto circle, Museveni expressed admiration. Wanyama shared that his business now sustains him and also trains other ghetto youth.
Yeah, we are getting money from here. We pay school fees, we pay where we stay, we pay here rent, and these boys are benefiting from it because there are others are married, others are not.
Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kasokoso.
Thank you, Philip Agota. Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has called Wakiso district leaders to popularize wealth creation in their respective communities other than politicking all the time. Museveni has this Thursday evening addressed hundreds of leaders at different levels from Wakiso district at a meeting convened at the district headquarters. Now, this is part of his wealth creation tour of Wakiso district.
Wakiso District Headquarters Playground has on Thursday, 10th July 2025, hosted the Presidential Wealth Creation Leaders Conference. The meeting, summoned by the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has attracted leaders from Wakiso District, Entebbe and Nansana municipalities, Kira Division and Makinje Sabagabo.
Oluusi waliwo wayimirira erudda n'erudda. Basomesa bakyatamu ekyokukola. Ate olwo bannaffe abali eyo mu byalo. Poliisi y'e Namayine etufuukidde poliisi.
As they waited for the president, a section of ministers took center stage to respond to some of the concerns raised by leaders.
Offices zaffe ziri open. Mujje mutubuulire kyono musomesa tabeera ku ssomero. Waliwo yagambye nti land fund teri mu Buganda. Njagala obbakakasa nti land fund mu Buganda weeri. Era tulina ettaka eriguliddwa Uganda Land Commission nga liri wano mu Buganda mu districts zaffe.
In the evening, the meeting received the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. And thereafter, the official program of the day kicked off.
People of Wakiso District, we express our deepest appreciation for your unwavering dedication to the transformation of Uganda.
The Joint Leaders Memorandum acknowledged the central government's effort towards the uplift of Wakiso with interventions like PDM, Emyoga and youth livelihoods getting a recognition.
Your Excellence, the steady increase in loan uptake under the Emyoga program is a strong indication that more citizens are entering the money economy.
With improvements in the health, education and livelihoods, leaders have reported about a switch in political dynamics.
This growing popularity gives us confidence in achieving even stronger electoral performance in the upcoming 2026 general election.
Just like it was on Tuesday when the president was addressing ghetto youth in Naweru, Nansana municipality, Museveni's address in Wakiso was equally diverted by veterans.
It was last year. Enamba yange njikwewere nzeke nyini batusindikeeri eyange kanjikwe 0772
kale kanyiwandike esimu yo
0772 3253
wabale nnyo
These were some of the concerns picked by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni at the roadside crowds which gathered along Kampala-Wakiso highway to receive him. To the leaders, Museveni guided as follows.
Have peace. Let's support wellness development. But do not forget wealth.
Museveni has also emphasized to the leaders that it is through wealth creation that Uganda can create more jobs.
Young people need jobs. You need to tell them that jobs come from wealth.
However, Museveni also tasks Wakiso district leaders to be at the forefront of fighting against corruption, which is hampering service delivery.
You, the leaders, you need to fight corruption in the government health centers, and later on we shall have to talk about the charges of school fees in government schools.
Museveni has paused the Wakiso district wealth creation visit this Thursday evening and will return on Sunday 13th July 2025 with a mega public rally in Kira Division to be hosted at Mandela National Stadium, Nambole. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Residents of Kakumiro district in Bunyoro sub-region have applauded the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja to help them access land titles belonging to absent landlords. It is alleged that thousands of people are bona fide occupants on land originally owned by the Baganda during the time when Buyaga and Bugagaizi counties were still under Buganda Kingdom.
Before Uganda gained independence in 1962, the counties of Buyaga and Bugangaizi were being administered by Buganda Kingdom until 1964, when President Milton Obote conducted a referendum which resulted into the return of Buyaga and Bugangaizi to Bunyoro. They have since been referred to as the lost counties. It is during this administration that the Baganda chiefs acquired land titles in the area. The locals remained squatters on their land. However, the NRM government, through the Uganda Land Commission, embarked on buying out the land titles from the absent landlords, and Kakumiro district alone has so far received 32,000 titles. However, many are still crying out. During her campaign trail in the NRM primaries, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, faced demands of land titles by the locals.
Land titles. Baitu ebyapa bya hanu byoha bya Baganda. Baganda. Mama kuko akugambira ebyapa. Tukoze research tukasoza makase twakora research mama basangana ebyapa mushanju byona abataka balenda ebyapa byitaka lyabo. Bayambe ebyapa ebyo babishazemo base kutunga ebyapa byabo.
Nabanja has promised to work on their plight so that they can receive titles on their bona fide land.
Tukebere ebyapa biri mabara ga moha. Ati mulaba mwina search mulaba manyira bakama babyo. Tuba twalo mu ministry ndagire babasasule kuli tufune ebyapa byaitu.
The residents of Kakumiro also appreciated the Prime Minister and the NRM government for extending wealth creation programs like the parish development model.
Mukatisa na Museveni mukama witu mukatileta ya PDM kutukorera nangwa naye akasete bakakampaho nyino buhunu mbino mukajari mukaranzaho reba siri kunzanguza nibone makana ko akasete ko kera bana ishomero gene n'abandi bantu mu RC zitu zinu abinji aseteza bazitungire
kuneto mushiyo kugereza kusteganiza munonga chonka abantu bagubugwere mate aline enkuru eziri hejana bakagabira abandi hari abantu batano abo turabaraka bagubugweremu na hata abandi kugabira abandi hari na keje ediana kempu n'ibitugabira ediana bitano kandi abakozire mu karosi karo mushiyo abateganisa n'abantu 18 kimanyisa tugerizeho ukora
The Prime Minister asked her supporters not to listen to her competitors, but instead consider her achievements in Kakumiro.
abaire mu district emyaka 10 ano akati yali ayiziro ate mujja kubalora abo akakolawo ki twali nitutinda obutinda akabanka twali nitukola omuhanda akabanka twali nituleta amashanyalaze kasozi akabanka
omuyaka yenyumo taliyo nabaina wulire nti nanga kaba prime minister naruga bunyoro hano ati mtukwata simire president akachitwongera chikuwa chimanyisa nti sakumala n'emyaka na 10 kitakakola ki kukiora nabwe cyo kubasaba mwije tuseke omukozi wa waitu agaruke yayebembere
tukolera bingi ebitakusobola kuyawo eisira nkusaba abantu akasozi nywena abakitayuka abokozi obulungi bwa gavumenti yaitu eya NRM na Kakumiro district na kitayuka sub county ogonzo maiso ogendo maiso bichirino nabanja ni wali kubibasha abandi bagaruka kulima nabanja ni watulipenda Museveni abawagira president Museveni amikono waggulu.
The Prime Minister later addressed a mega rally at Mwitanzige Town Council.
Amina.
UBC News tonight. Now, the commander of the 3 Special Forces groups, Colonel Wilson Bagonza, has urged members of the Special Forces Command, SFC, to remain vigilant and committed in safeguarding the hard-earned freedom ushered in by Uganda's liberation heroes. He made the remarks on Tuesday, July 8, 2025, while officiating at the closure of the 3rd edition of the SFC Inter-Unit Rifle Competition held at the Samora Marshall UPDF Special Forces School in Kaweweta, where he represented the commander of the Special Forces Command in Uganda, Major General David Mugisha.
Group Colonel Bagonza has emphasized the importance of training and historical responsibility in the UPDF.
And perhaps what we are doing is preservation of freedom. The freedom ushered to us by our freedom fighters, headed by our dear President, His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda. They ushered in this kind of freedom we're enjoying, and we are training to further preserve that kind of freedom. So it's not for granted, and those who want to spoil that freedom, they should be subdued by us. You don't allow them to spoil.
Colonel Bagonza on Tuesday represented the command of the Special Forces Command, Major General David Mugisha, to officiate at the closure of the 3rd edition of the SFC Inter-Unit Rifle Competition held at the Fort Samora Machel UPDF Special Forces School in Kaweweta, Nakasongola district. He lauded the Chief of Defense Forces, General Mhozi Kainerugaba, for his passion in professionalizing the UPDF.
The Chief of Defense Forces, specifically for his passion to professionalize Uganda People's Defense Forces in terms of training, equipping, and welfare of soldiers.
He further highlighted the importance of continuous training, particularly in the Special Forces Command, citing it as essential to maintaining combat readiness and operational superiority. The Director of Training and Doctrine for the SFC, Colonel Paul Okut, echoed similar sentiments, noting that the competition was not merely for accolades, but a force multiplier, showcasing the practical output of relentless training.
So, you may have numbers, but if they don't know what to do, you may not see the benefit of those numbers.
The commandant of Samora Machel UPDF Special Forces School, Lieutenant Colonel Edison Bayendera, emphasized that the event was not about hitting targets, but demonstrating the relentless to improve and uphold the light standards.
It was a test of accuracy under pressure, of grit under fatigue and of enduring will to be better than yesterday. Each participant demonstrated high standards of professionalism that make our special forces a formidable and elite force.
This year's SFC Inter-Unit Rifle competition featured 11 teams across the 4 formations, namely the Headquarters Group, 1 Forces Group, 2 Forces Group, and 3 Special Forces Group. Competitive disciplines included the Strongest Special Challenge, Long Range Rifle Challenge, Pistol Challenge, Hostage Rescue Challenge, and Direct Action Simulation. The event was graced by top military brass, including the Deputy Commander of 1 Special Forces Group, Brigade Commanders, SFC Training School Commanders, Senior Commanders, and other dignitaries. The competition celebrated not just skills, but also the spirit of unity, operational readiness, and the high professional standards that continue to define Uganda's special forces. Bernard Higa, UBC News, Nakasongola.
Thank you, Benediga. Now, the NRM party joint campaigns in Bushenyi Ishaka municipality have hit a snag as each of the candidates decide to hold individual campaigns contrary to the party directives. Marvin Bariaruha, one of the contestants, has since stopped his campaigns, citing violence and dishing of money at the rallies by his rival Idi Basajja, who is also the son to businessman Hassan Basajja Baraba. Marvin and his supporters have since petitioned the party electoral chairman, Dr. Tanga Odoi, to intervene, in vain, which has created sharp divisions within the party supporters. We have the details.
The NRM party primary polls draw closer in Bushenyi Ishaka municipality. The joint campaigns have hit a snag as some NRM candidates bow out of the campaigns, citing increasing violence and excess voter bribery. Marvin Bariaruha, who is neck to neck with Idi Basajja, has since stopped campaigning, accusing his rivals of unbecoming behaviors.
These fellows go dishing out money at rallies, which I am not going to do, because I'm asking for votes. I'm not buying votes. So that major difference cannot allow us to have what? Joint rallies.
They are only giving away a little to compromise the voters, and then tomorrow they go to, because it's a business, tomorrow they go to seek for that very money they invested.
The Bushenyi Ishaka municipality NRM MP race has got 3 candidates, including Marvin Bariaruha, Idi Basajja, and Ndiakura Nicholas, while their party policy mandates all of them to hold joint campaigns. Each decided to go individual in fear of clashes.
Now a place like Ishaka, you can't convene. You can't even aspire to meet members of the movement structures from there. They would harass them, intimidate them. The other day I met some from Central. Immediately the next day Lukwago went there, threatened them, I'll remove you. He doesn't have the power. This is not his kitchen.
Whereas Marvin accuses his arch-rival Idi Basajja and his group for pelting terror on his camp, the accused denied all these allegations.
I don't have any problem with moving with my brothers to campaign as one family so that people can decide. And at the end of the day, we should respect the decision of our people. What they decide, we shall respect it and we shall go with it.
Idi Basajja and Ndiakura Nicholas are the only new faces in the NRM MP race for Bushenyi Ishaka municipality. In 2020 to 2021 election, Marvin Bariaruha contested in the race but lost to Derek Kabura, who decided not to contest again. Idi Basajja, being the son to business mogul Hassan Basajja Balaba, who also doubles as the Bushenyi District NRM chairman, some candidates have already cast doubt on the outcomes of the elections.
You see, Hassan is the chairman of the NRM in Bushenyi. Now, he's our father. All of these candidates were his children. So ordinarily, he shouldn't be taking a side, which he's doing. And this is wrong. He's taking a side, he's biased, he's not objective.
Bushenyi Ishaka municipality has an estimated population of 43,236 people, of that are registered voters. The area is grappling with various challenges, majority of which are infrastructure and deteriorating health systems. However, each of these candidates think they are best suitable to fix the problems once voted into parliament.
Come and cast your vote for the right candidate, who is Marvin Variaroha, and we bring Bushenyi back to its former heights.
Please vote me and vote socio-economic development. Together, we can make Bushenyi Ishaka municipality a channel of oil.
What our people will decide, it's what we shall go with. And we shall comply with the rules and guidelines of our electoral commission as NRM party.
As the NRM primary elections gain momentum, these candidates are embroiled in various accusations and counter-accusations, with voters on the left to decide who will hold their NRM party flag.
The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development under the Employment Service Department has launched the Labour Migration Digital Tool to facilitate complaints and reports from migrant workers, aiming for more effective and efficient responses. Now, during the launch, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Agri David Chibenge, said the safe, user-friendly digital platform accessed through the MS app will enhance the safety of labour migrants among partner countries.
Migration rate for the year 2024 was reflected at 6.54% decline from the year 2023. This rate, which largely includes young qualified girls seeking employment abroad, stood at 50.9% in 2010, 51.1% in 2015, and an estimated 51.9% in 2019. The increasing number of migrants not externalized through the ministry's external employment management information system often face serious challenges and hardships while abroad.
A big percentage of them are young people who have been through school, some of them with degrees, but who cannot access the employment market, and who say, rather than sit here, let me go and earn, you saw the figures again, let me go and earn at least 1 million Uganda shillings a month.
Despite these challenges, many are now unable to access justice and support to exercise their rights.
So how do we secure safe passage for these people? How do we secure good working conditions for them where their rights are respected as individuals? And should those exceptions rear their ugly heads, where some of them are abused, where some of them are molested, how do we intervene?
It's against this backdrop that the ministry launched the Labour Migration Digital Tool under the Employment Service Department, aimed at facilitating migrant workers' complaints.
These labour migrant digital tools that comprise of a complaints mechanism, complaints management system, which will be integrated, or which, as you have seen in the demonstration, has been integrated with the external employment management information system, the EMIS, together with the 24-hour help desk call center with the migrants helpline, Sauti 116, and the returnee data collection tool base are very important platforms that will facilitate complaints reporting.
So it asks, what would you like? Would you like us? What would you like us to call you? So this is like a pseudonym. So I could go ahead and say maybe Isaac, and it asks, would you please describe what happened? We are here to listen. Your voice matters. So I'll describe what happened.
The Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Agri David Chibenge, emphasized that the safe routine use of this online tool will support labour migrant safety across countries with which Uganda has formal agreements.
Interesting thing is that not everybody complaining out there went through the EMIS. Not everybody went through that system. And if you are complaining and you hook onto these platforms, and we do not have that information about you because we don't know how you traveled, the journey is going to be much longer.
Uganda has signed bilateral labor agreements with countries such as Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates.
BBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we return with more stories after these messages.
Living Legends and MTN presents one of Uganda's greatest entertainers. Mama Halima Namakula. Celebrating 50 years in the creative arts and 25 years in philanthropy. Get ready for an unforgettable night with special and magical moments at the Kampala Serena Hotel, happening on the 26th of July. Tickets available on Momo at 150k VIP and 3 million for a table. Dial *165 *20 hash to get your ticket. The Living Legends Gala is powered by and MTN. Together, we're unstoppable. Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
You got us on your wallet. Bobby, again! What's the drama?
Drama? Colleagues, elections for special interest groups are calling. SIGs, elections, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time to vote for our leaders, June through August. From village to parish to district to nationals, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time, go vote your leaders. No! F-bomb-B! Elections are supposed to be peaceful. Easy vote, okay?
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad you're still with us here in UBC News Tonight. Now, in more stories this evening, the National Drug Authority has dismantled a major cartel behind the theft of government drugs in Luwero district, including life-saving ARVs and tuberculosis treatments. This was during a joint operation by the NDA, Uganda Police Force, and local leaders.
Operation followed a search at the home of Lydia Nansamba in Zilobe Central, Luwero district, after intelligence reports indicated she was storing government drugs worth millions of shillings. Upon her arrest, Nansamba revealed a network of individuals involved in the cartel, leading to the arrest of 7 other suspects.
Working with Uganda Police and the local council authorities in Luwero, NDA, the National Drug Authority, has conducted a targeted operation in Luwero Bamunanika County and arrested 7 people in relation to sale and possession of government drugs worth 100 million shillings and more. This operation is in continuation of the countrywide operations that have been taking place in relation to people selling drugs meant for government of Uganda.
More stolen drugs were recovered hidden on curtain shelves at the local health center, including yellow fever vaccines.
Additionally, these drugs and vaccines were found poorly stored in people's homes, others in canteens, and the conditions were not suitable for the storage of these drugs. These all compromise or affect the safety, quality, and efficacy of these drugs.
The suspects are currently detained at the Kampala Central Police Station and face multiple charges, including theft of government drugs and abuse of office.
The 7 suspects we arrested are currently being held at Kampala Central Police Station, with police taking statements from them. And we are hopeful that once investigations are complete, they'll be produced before the Standards and Utility Court so as to answer charges related to unlawful possession of government drugs, which contravenes section unlawful possession of government drugs or government property, which contravenes section 316 of the Penal Code.
The NDA urges all Ugandans to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity. Local leaders strongly condemned the criminal acts. Lydia Chomkama and Juma Samba, UBC News.
Over 200 Ugandan Muslims missed this year's sacred pilgrimage to Mecca and Medina due to visa and accommodation delays. In response, the Uganda Bureau of Hajj Affairs has officially launched early preparations for the 2026 Hajj to ensure no one is left behind again. This was during the engagement with travel agency coordinators held at the Uganda Bureau of Hajj Affairs headquarters in Kampala.
Every year, thousands of Muslims across the globe travel to holy cities of Mecca and Medina in Saudi Arabia to fulfill the religious obligation of Hajj. But over 2,000 Ugandan Muslims missed this year's pilgrim due to late approval and delays in payment for visa and accommodation. In a bind to turn things around, the Uganda Bureau of Hajj Affairs held an engagement meeting with Muslim leaders and travel coordinators to lay out a streamlined plan for 2026 journeys to the holy cities.
That with effect from this year, the deadlines are very strict, and the Ministry of Hajj, whenever it presents the deadlines, it is ever strict on those deadlines. Go and start making payments, register and start making payments immediately. Because according to the deadline we have, between now and the last deadline for the payment of Hajj and entering all the data and the necessary information in the system, we have only 6 months. Compared to the previous time when we had a good time of over a year when we do our things at our convenience.
Kaliacho Walyanga highlighted the importance of timely documentation, proper coordination with Saudi authorities, and financial readiness.
We're expecting by 10th of October, whoever is planning to go for Hajj, he must have paid at least $2,500. The financial implication, whenever you miss the Hajj, there is some losses which you have to incur, like it or not. Because they are non-refundable payments that you make, if you don't go, they can't return the money. For example, if you pay for the hotels. Hotels in Makkah, you make the agreement, you pay the money, you don't go, it's up to you. No refund.
With the 2026 Hajj on the horizon, the Bureau is urging the Muslims community to prepare early, follow guidelines, and register through accredited channels.
We need to follow the deadlines so that we can do good preparation for you and for us.
Travel coordinators had this to say.
This is the only way we are going to remove all challenges of not getting visas in time, not going with a registered company.
To come and register now so that you beat the deadline.
Hajj is not just a journey, but a spiritual milestone in Muslims' life. As Uganda plans ahead for 2026, officials hope that no pilgrim will be left behind next year. And by April 2026, pilgrims are expected to have traveled to Mecca. Susan Inabugude for UBC News.
Tuko Club Kampala has donated an incinerator worth 10 million Ugandan shillings to the Good Samaritan Inclusive Primary School in Nasuti, Mukono. The donation, which comes in response to a request from the school management, addresses the growing challenge of waste disposal caused by the school's unique needs, a burden worsened by parental neglect.
Inclusive Primary School is home to over 100 children with various disabilities.
We are demanding an incinerator about more than 15 years. So now it is a blessing that at least to have that incinerator. It's going to support, to help us in either in the community, in our school. So thank you so much.
According to the school administrator, Tushabe Rachel, one of the biggest challenges they face is the disposal of pampers used by the children.
They become a health hazard because flies were flying all over, and also these pampers do not rot. So wherever we are heaping them, they could pile and become so much and become a burden to our school. Yeah, because we are privately owned, we also face different challenges like food, salaries, medication, and most especially these pampers. We need pampers because each child uses maximally 4 pampers a day.
Speaking at the handover ceremony, Tuko Club President Dr. Edward Semafumo emphasized the importance of community support for vulnerable groups, especially children with disabilities who have been forsaken by their own families.
As Tuko, we are giving back to society because we think this is a place that needs to be helped. They are doing a good job. They have a great need, and it's a noble cause.
The incinerator will not only ease waste disposal but also improve hygiene and health standards at the school, creating a safer environment for the children.
You can't separate the environment from human activity, you know. I've told you about diseases to the children here, the children in the communities, to the staff. These people interact with the outside community. So if there's an outbreak here, they will get it even in the neighborhood, and vice versa. But also to the environment, when you dispose of these pampers wrongly, that area, it is no longer as productive as it should have been. Yes. And even when you are disposing of, and you are disposing them of openly, not in a controlled way, and you just burn them openly, the fumes that come out of those pampers, those also are dangerous to human life.
Abandonment, often driven by stigma, ignorance and poverty, leaves many disabled children in the care of under-resourced institutions.
We have been receiving children here, but after receiving them, the parents abandon us. They don't ever come back to check on their children, and you find these children becoming a property to this school. But wherever our parents are, please, we appeal to you to always come back and check on your children.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now, residents of Nabusanja village in Kayonza sub-county, Kayunga district, are celebrating after a long-standing dispute with landlord Penina Awori, which has ended in a mutual agreement to compensate the victims of illegal evictions.
April 25th, 2025, the residents petitioned the State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, accusing Mrs. Penina Awori of forcefully evicting them after purchasing the land they have occupied for years. Yesterday, a community meeting convened by Kayunga RDC Mariam Nelwega brought together the residents, Minister Mayanja, Senior Presidential Assistant for Special Duties Fiona Barungi, and local leaders, including LC1 Chairman Sekanza Samuel.
After agreeing with the tenants that I'm giving you half of what you have, I'm ready to give you
what I take, I'm ready to give you the land title. Then thereafter she denied.
During the meeting, residents expressed fear and frustration over the harassment by Awori's private security.
Yogera amazima wadenga gakolachi oyo omukyala yajjanga kuno, but there was misunderstanding with the citizens.
Senior Presidential Assistant Fiona Barungi condemned the illegal evictions.
Just miscommunication that happened in this thing. It's just a small matter that it does not need even a lot of effort, because the minister had asked me to join hands with the RDC and see if we could solve this.
When given a chance to speak, Penina Awori said the evictions were due to misunderstandings and miscommunication.
This part of the area is going to be the children's home and school. Then over there we're planning to put up the children's hospital and women. To thank the Honorable Minister openly and Madame Birungi plus the RDC that today we've had harmony. The misunderstanding, the miscommunication, the air has been cleared. And right now we are back on a drawing board, and it's a team. We are now going to work as a team with the district.
Minister Mayanja reiterated that deploying private security personnel on disputed land contravenes presidential directives.
Now this is no longer disputed land. The dispute has been solved. But we need adequate, properly trained security to guard this investment. Therefore, she's going to go to the RDC with the private security guards list.
He further directed Varungi and RDC Nelwega to submit a detailed report within 14 days and ensure that all the Bibanja holders, including the 8 families who suffered the most, receive justice.
And this is no longer contested land. Everything else is going to be handled in accordance with the law.
And I'm going to give him a detailed report on this, because I'm going to make sure I dig deep. I will dig and get to know the truth.
Cayenne Faith, Jamil Sekaja, for UBC.
Kasese Tourism Investors Forum has launched the Rwenzori Theluji Festival 2025. Stephen Masaba, the Director of Tourism and Business Development at Uganda Wildlife Authority, has urged Ugandans to become tourists of their own tourism sites.
Under the Kasese Tourism Investors Forum, we have a tourism product we call the Rwenzori Theluji Festival. Theluji is a Swahili word for snow. So we have components under the Rwenzori Theluji Festival, 6 of them. The first one is about greening and planting of trees.
The main purpose of the Rwenzori Theluji Festival is to promote tourism in Kasese, attracting tourists and enabling them to stay longer in the country.
The purpose is to continue telling the world that Kasese is an area that can be visited by tourists. So we are doing things that enhance the visitors' visit. For example, the planting of trees is aimed at ensuring that the snow doesn't recede fast. The snow should still be at the level at which it is. If it is possible, we have it restored so that the tourists can come and enjoy the scene in the mountain.
Uganda Wildlife has promised access to game parks and urged stakeholders in the tourism value chain to diversify in order to enable tourists have the best experience in the country.
Every year we participate in the Theluji, and we are going to participate very, very strongly this year by, of course, being some money, but also giving concessional or affordable park access for people who are coming for Theluji to visit Queen Elizabeth National Park, in which they can do a number of things. People can do game drives, can do boat drives, can do nature walks before they come into this festival, which is a 3-day festival.
The historical event marks the annual exciting celebrations of the rich cultural heritage, natural beauty, and unique traditions of the Rwenzori region experience in Kasese.
One, two, Timana. Sika. Hey, the tucha pata tu. Watch it. Mr. Boss. Bigida engine kola kinzo wangure.
I am so excited to be here in Kobalo, Arua. We've gotten our second winner from this place. All he had to do was to download the caller tune. He's a young gentleman. Convincing him that he's the actual winner was actually not easy.
I never believed in calls that could come to me anyhow because I was always a lot of scammers. But later when I confirmed, it was true. And I'm really happy I have received my bag.
All you have to do is dial *170 *12 hash and download the caller tune. Digida with MTN caller tunes. Owangule.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the rider selection campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
At UNOC, we believe in safety.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the business scene. Uganda Free Zones and Export Promotions Authority UFZEPA, a revitalized government agency formed by merging the former Uganda Free Zones Authority and Uganda Export Promotions Board, has been unveiled. The move, part of government's rationalization in 2025, grants UFZEPA a renewed mandate to drive the establishment and promotion of special economic zones and exports, plunging directly into President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's Vision 2040 to achieve a $500 billion GDP and upper middle income status. We have the details in this report.
In an exclusive interview, Executive Director Hez Kimomi Alinda has explained Uganda Free Zones and Export Promotions Authority's renewed mandate in supporting critical areas of Uganda's economy.
Of course, this was as a result of a government policy on rationalization of government agencies and public expenditure to bring related work under one roof.
Free zones are designated areas where businesses benefit from reduced taxes, streamlined customs, and robust infrastructure to manufacture, process, and export goods.
As you are aware, free zones are export-oriented, and this Export Promotion Board was also an export promotion agency. So right now as we talk, both industrialization for export as well as export development and promotion are under one roof, UFZEPA.
In Uganda, free zones have attracted both local and foreign investors, with over 10 active sites supporting agro-processing, light manufacturing and logistics.
Currently, the country has 43 licensed and operational free zones. For the public free zones, we have one under development. It's nearing completion. It's about 90%, 85% completion, certified work at Entebbe International Airport. This is a plug and play export processing zone where goods from that area will be going one way out of the country. And in terms of customs management, a special economic zone or a free zone is out of the country.
These zones offer direct access to regional and international markets, and investors can export at least 80% of their output duty-free to markets like COMESA, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, and the European Union.
In a free zones, you process coffee, process cotton, you process wood products, you store, you have financial services, you have an insurance engagement, you have free or sometimes requisite minimum warehousing facilities. It's a marketplace, it's a meeting point, you have high-speed internet, there's security of persons and property, and obviously, usually around the free zones, you develop another hinterland, so to speak.
UFZEPA is leveraging Uganda's expanding infrastructure like improved electricity supply, new roads, upgraded rail and water transport to make it easier for entrepreneurs to set up and scale export-oriented.
What is important is to increase the velocity of money in the economy. And that can only happen when you have increased the level of economic activity in the economy, regardless of who is doing it.
Uganda Free Zones and Export Promotions Authority is calling on local investors to seize the unprecedented government incentives, especially in agriculture where tax exemptions and support for value addition are at an all-time high. Wadulo Arnold Mark in Kampala.
Thank you, Mark Wadulo. Now, the Power and Electricity Expo has kicked off at Uganda Manufacturers Association's Multipurpose Hall. Now in its third consecutive year, the Expo aims at showcasing current trends and advancements while fostering collaboration and knowledge sharing among stakeholders.
The Power and Electricity Exposition at UMA is showcasing a range of new technologies in the power and electricity sector, including advancements in renewable energy, electric motorcycles, and energy storage devices, among others. The Expo, now in its third year, features technologies related to solar, wind, hydropower, emphasizing the growing trend in renewable energy sources.
Now, apart from the range, Gold Star battery, it is made in Uganda. Everything is made in factory, from box, from battery, from container, from terminal, everything. Why we urge customer to be with us is because we have factory in Uganda. We can be very good at the service. We can be very fast at the service. Any problem, we have all authority to replace.
Most of these technologies on display at the UMA Multipurpose Hall can be deployed anywhere in Uganda and across the region. The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development and partners believe that by creating awareness about these advanced technologies, Uganda will make significant strides in promotion and adoption of cleaner and more efficient energy solutions.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Are you an elite runner, a fitness enthusiast, or just looking for adventure? Get ready to run in paradise at the Fort Portal City Marathon on the 19th of July 2025. This is your race to experience the beauty and culture of our tourism city. It's all breathtaking for only 50,000 shillings. Register now at www.fortcitymarathon.com or come to Wazalendo Building, Room 9 in Fort Portal. The Fort Portal City Marathon. Mwije Tugende Toro for a run in paradise. In partnership with Rock Telecom, Data Cities, Sams, and
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
And Toro Kingdom.
And now into sports. Uganda's national women's basketball team, the Gazelles, is finalizing preparations for the 2025 FIBA Women's Afrobasket with a high-performance training camp in Egypt. The team will depart for Cairo tomorrow and will play 3 friendly matches against Egypt, Rwanda and Cameroon from 12th to the 15th of July.
I feel like I was closer to the players more, considering that the head coach was someone that came from outside. So, I mean, it's a good feeling, of course, to be the one at the top. But at the end of the day, I think it's about the players. As the saying goes, the coach is as good as his players. So for me, the job I need to do is make sure I put the players in a good position to perform and help all of us succeed at the end of the day. In the last couple of days, we tried to prepare for a mini tournament that we're going to play in Egypt against Rwanda, Cameroon, and the host Egypt themselves. So yeah, we've been trying to kind of on a crash program to get the players ready for that tournament, which I think is a good build-up for us. Good opponents in Cameroon and Rwanda and of course Egypt, who are all playing in the Afrobasket. So I think I'm excited and hopefully it will help us to see some gaps and also some good things that we can build on. I think from the qualifiers I've had a good race from the fans that we all receive and all out there, both on in the media and also the messages we get from them. And yeah, glad they could come out, and it's an extra motivation for us, knowing that the fans are behind us. And as a national team, especially women, we don't always get that much backing from the fans, but we appreciate this. We're going to go out there to play much harder and even better.
That wraps it up here in UBC News Tonight. Thank you so much for your company. Do enjoy much more of UBC Television's programming. I'm Masiika Kazimoto. Good night.